First of all, man, I got all kind of emotions going through me right now. Every time I had guests come through, the feeling, you know, it's like that feeling right before we get ready to hoop. And all it is just, you just want to do well. That's all it is. So for those who don't know, we're at the Turnaround Podcast. And we got another special guest that just stopped through and bless us. We got Shawan Robinson and Callie that blessed us. The Turnaround Podcast. We got some athletes up in here. And like I said, I got all kind of emotions going through me. So first of all, bro, I just want to say, man, thank you for coming through.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. It's been a couple years in the making. I'm glad that we can finally make it work.
Yeah, man. So, bro, I got a lot of admiration for you. So I want to say that first. I want you to know that I've always admired you and I watched you from afar, ever since we met as teammates and colleagues. I've always admired how you conduct yourself as a man. Okay, so I wanted to say that first from the heart. And then just let you know, you being here today means a lot. So thank you. For those of you who may not know, bro, just let them know who you be.
Yeah. So I'm here with my daughter, Callie, a local product. Grew up in the Triangle area. I had battles with the Raleigh guys, the Durham guys. Went to Leesville Road High School. Had a pretty good career. Went to Clemson. Had a pretty good career there, and then played a few years overseas. But I always knew that coaching was my calling, helping young athletes. And so that's what I do now. Since 2012, I've been at Panther Creek High School.
That's what's up.
I've been blessed to have a lot of guys make it to the next level.
Yep.
Still waiting on my first NBA guy, but I got a couple guys that are making money overseas, a couple guys coaching. And, I've just been extremely blessed to be surrounded by positive people.
Right.
And I just want to continue that as I go on.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's super exciting, bro. Like I said, I've been following and I've been seeing. To me, that's huge. And how I like to say, it's gigantor. You know what I mean? Callie, you have a great dad.
Thank you.
He's a great dad. So, how many children you have?
I have two girls. I got Callie. She'll be 10 in next month.
Okay.
And then I have a 16-year-old who goes to school with me. She plays softball. Her name is Cassidy.
Okay, that's what's up. What up, Cassidy? That's what's up. Yeah. All right. So I definitely want to say what up to everyone who follows the Turnaround Podcast. The views, the likes, the shares, everything, the comments, so we appreciate everybody. And we just going full steam ahead with the Turnaround Podcast. And like I said, today we have another special guest who stopped by. So we're going to talk some basketball, we're going to talk some sports, and I got some questions, bro. First of all, man, your dad had his jersey retired recently for Appalachian State. He's the first player in school history having his jersey retired in the rafters. What does that mean to you?
It just means a lot. He went up there, they set him up to tell him that they were going to do it. They had him come talk to the team, and unbeknownst to him, they were going to let him know that his jersey was going to be retired. And I think for him, looking back, 1979, the first team to ever make it to the NCAA tournament, just to see that emotion, to know that his body of work is being recognized. After they surprised him, he called me and told me my name was going to be in the rafters forever. So I think for him, it's important that he leaves that legacy. So when he goes away from here, hopefully many years from now, we can still go back and take my grandkids to see their great-grandfather's jersey in the rafters at App State. What he started there, the foundation that him and Bobby Crimmins made, it was just huge, and they still talk 1 to 2 times a month now. So I just think their relationship is amazing, and what he meant to the university is amazing.
Yeah, that's huge, man. Like I said, that's gigantor. I didn't know, but big homie dropped the nugget for him. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's huge, man. I can't even put it into words how huge it is, but yeah, man, that's what's up. That's what's up. Basketball for you, like your roots. Who were the people that had the biggest influence on you early?
Well, obviously, my dad. He had me going to basketball camp at 5.
Okay.
My mom was always the basketball should be plan B and make sure you take care of your studies. But I always made sure I took care of my schooling so I could focus on basketball.
Okay.
So obviously, my dad and my mom. My favorite player growing up was Kenny Anderson.
Kenny Anderson.
A lot of young people don't know who he was. But obviously, he played for Georgia Tech. Bobby Crimmins was the coach there. My dad and Kenny had the same coach. And just watching how he got others involved and how he was able to score the ball. And then after him, Stephon Marbury. So I would say that those two And I don't think I play anything like them. But I like to say that I took little pieces and nuggets from their game and tried to incorporate it in mine. But those are my two favorite players all time.
Yeah.
As far as I could model my game after. You know, everybody liked Mike and wanted the shoes, but I could really see myself being Steph and Kenny, and I wanted to play at Georgia Tech and would have done so had Bobby probably stayed, but he ended up retiring and I had my own path.
Yeah, you definitely blazed the path too. You etched one out, and I respect it. We met, I believe it was the ABA.
ABA, probably seen you in fitness a couple times, like playing pickup random places. ABA is where, you know, I really got a chance to, you know, be around you and play with you, yeah.
Those ABA days, man, you know, for me, that experience, it was like the NBA for me. Overseas is another thing. We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
My producer, shout out to TJ, Talib Jasir. So he composes questions, and he always puts together some fantastic questions, man, just to get the conversation going and just to pick the mind of the guests. I like this one right here. You kind of sort of answered this question already, but for those who may not know you, who is Shawan Robinson beyond basketball?
I just think that I genuinely try to be a good person. I know that's probably like a common answer.
No,
I think for me, it's about helping, especially with my kids and my players. It's just about doing all I can to help them achieve what they want to. I'm not perfect. I made mistakes. I know you say outside of basketball, but as a basketball player, outside of basketball and in school, a lot of stuff came real natural to me.
Yeah.
So I didn't necessarily work as hard as I should have. And so I try to give my athletes, my children, to not take that for granted. Like, if you are skilled, you've got to make sure you cultivate your craft. And so I just see myself as a tool to help those reach what it is that maybe I didn't reach.
You all academic scholar too.
Yeah.
At Clemson. Like, that's huge, man. That's difficult too, to dedicate to academics like that. But that's the thing about being a student athlete also. But I see that you took your academics super seriously. What type of mindset did you have to lock into to accomplish that?
I think for me, it's just about getting stuff done. I don't like not completing. I'm a man of my word. I like to say, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to commit to it. And I think with school, it was just like that. If we had an assignment to do, I made time to do it. I try not to procrastinate, try to get it done so that I could get to go play basketball, so that I could get to practice, and it's not hanging over my head. But, you know, I think I'm kind of smart, so it kind of came easy to me. But it's all about balance and making sure you prioritizing and making sure you have time to get things done.
Definitely the prioritizing and the sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I noticed that about you when we first met, that you was a man of discipline, and I could see that you was an executor. And that's where the admiration come in at, because we took two different paths to get to the same goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know at what point in life quite yet the NBA was in your mind, or just playing basketball period on a professional level. But like I said, we took two different roads, you know, and you played in a few different countries. To get to that level, I understand what it takes. So we're going to get into some of the mindset of playing on international levels.
Yep.
Yeah, man. In 2 days, it'll be the 4th. America finna celebrate the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all got any special plans?
Tomorrow, me, my dad, and one of my best friends on the 3rd, we're going to go up to D.C. and watch the Wizards practice.
That's what's up.
So we'll get to see A.J. DeBonsta in one of his first few practices.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that, and then probably just cool on the 4th. We'll go up and come back and just cool on the 4th. See some fireworks, eat some hot dogs.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Oh, you excited, Callie? Yeah? Kinda. That's what's up. You like the 4th of July? Yeah, me too. I'll be the same way, like, swear. Y'all, I'm gonna bounce around a little bit with some of these questions.
Yep.
What's something younger Shawan believed that older Shawan no longer believes?
They say the people that are really successful are kind of ahead of the curve or understand when their window closes. I think I didn't really believe how close I was to playing in the NBA, or how close I was to really making a living, a lot of money playing basketball, because I thought those margins were wider than they were.
Yeah.
I believed if I would have, looking back, if I would have dedicated a little bit more to my craft, day in and day out. I loved to play.
Yeah.
I look back at now how everything is training and everybody can do all these moves, like that just wasn't how we grew up. I feel like if I would have understood that earlier, things could have been different. Obviously at 43, I'd be where I am now, but I think that things could have been a little bit different. Younger Shawan thought the margins were wider than they were, but once you get, like, when you're in it, it's minute. The differences in making it and not making it are very, very small.
Yeah, I agree. Those margins, no doubt. And it's like that opportunity and that door could close real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, but I always like to explain to people that guys like you and I who compete internationally, we're a collection of some of the best basketball players in the world outside the NBA, because the NBA is a collection of some of the best basketball players in the world. And, man, they take the best of the best.
But there was a point in time, I didn't realize it. Obviously, I'm playing against NBA players in the summer.
Yeah.
Where there's not much difference. You know, there's things that you may be better than them at. But the NBA is a league of specialists.
Yeah,
what you're great at and what you can bring to the table.
Right.
So I think I reached a lot of my potential just based off of know-how. You know, I wasn't super athletic. You know, I could shoot the ball.
Yes.
I believe. There was a little bit of untapped potential, but I think for the most part, like, I maxed out.
You, like I said, I'm bouncing around. In Clemson, you led the nation in free throw percentage. Yeah. What type of mindset you had to lock into the...
Yeah, it's just, you got to be unfazed by the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, you got to want the ball in those moments. And I think for me, it was just free points. So
yeah,
I tried to approach the line. There's no pressure. You know, you in the rim, and you've done it a million times before, and just step up and go through your routine, take a deep breath, and knock them in. Yeah. Consistency. I think greatness is in consistency. And so, and that's just one of those things where you can be consistent. You're in charge of everything in that moment. There's no factors that can change. The crowd, you know, the moment, but those are all in your mind.
Talking about being locked in, you shot for over 91% at the line.
Yeah, it's one of the best. I think at the time, I don't know what it is now, but I know at the time it was JJ Redick, then me.
You was third in the nation.
Yeah,
I was like, wow. That's super impressive. That's because you got to think, like, there's a lot of college players out there. Yeah, that's super impressive, my guy. But I saw close and firsthand what you could do, so I knew. And while we at it, man, you know, I want to take a moment, man, because a mutual friend of ours no longer here. You know what I mean? And he was a standout at East Chapel Hill. Man, Chris Hobbs, I think about him all the time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We were roommates.
Okay.
Yeah, we were roommates for 2 years.
Okay.
He was 2 years ahead of me.
Yeah.
Gentle giant.
Yeah,
he was. He was a monster on the court.
Yes, he was.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Great family. I'll never forget when I got that news that he had passed.
Yeah.
But he was one of them ones, especially early, like at East Chapel Hill. I think
they won the state championship. Yeah, 97, I believe.
Yeah, and he just, I think he tore his ACL, but I know he had everybody on him.
Yeah.
You know, and just ended up at Clemson. But I want to say he made all freshman team. Now, he was a great guy.
He was. He was all freshman. His high school coach at East Chapel Hill was my high school coach at Riverside, Coach Hartsfield. Yeah, that's my guy. I love Coach Hartsfield, man, because he loved us as players. I felt like he loved us as people first. You know, that's how I felt. Come to find out, I'm not the only one who felt that way about him. But yeah, man, you know, Chris Hobbs, I met him through Coach, because we would go to East Chapel Hill sometimes. You know how we do, we ball play, so we're going to go find some runs and some workouts. So that's why I met Chris and like I said, when I got the news too, I was like, wow, because I had just ran into him. He was in the medical field now, and he was playing over in Poland, so we talking about that. But yeah, man, I just wanted to shout out Chris Hobbs, man. So
they did a special on that team, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and I was interviewed by the guy who did it.
Okay. And
it was pretty cool to go through and listen to, you know, that experience that team went through.
Right.
To win the first title in the first year. Yeah. And I think he played against Julius Peppers along the way. So
I heard about that.
It was a dope story.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Hobbs, man. Like I said, I'm going to bounce around a little bit, bro. Yeah, man. So, you know, like I said, we're the Turnaround Podcast. I'm your host, the Edatonian Durhamite. And we got Coach Shawan Robinson and Callie at the Turnaround Podcast. So, the ABA. How many teams did you actually play for with the ABA?
I only played for one team.
With the Jaguars?
The Jaguars.
What you felt about the ABA?
I think for me, I had just finished playing. I was teaching in Raleigh.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be a part-time job.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's something, to play basketball on the weekends, to play once or twice during the weekend practice.
Yeah.
It's something that I would have done for free.
Yeah.
But they made a promise of money.
Yeah.
But my experience was dope. It was a chance to fellowship with guys like you and Cliff Crawford. And I think we had Coach Marcus.
Yeah.
Coach Johnson.
Yeah.
So it was just an opportunity to do something that I would have done for free. So my experience with it was good. It just didn't last very long. I think the organizers had visions of grandeur. I think they thought that because the stadium was packed, McDougal was packed for the summer league, I think they thought it would be packed for semi-pro, and it just wasn't going to be that way.
Yeah.
But we won some games. We lost a couple games. I don't remember how many games I played, maybe 5 or 6. But I think by the tail end, I was finally getting in shape. Early on, I was a little rusty, but by the end, I was in some shape and making a difference, and then it just kind of came to an end.
Yeah, man. I enjoyed it. I had been with, at that point in time, I think that was probably Jaguars. I want to say that was probably like maybe my 3rd or 4th team.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the ABA. I love everything the ABA stands for. I'm just going to piggyback on what you were saying. The experience, it didn't feel, for me, where I should have been. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, for me, there was embarrassing times.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because the Jaguars, they was here in my home. You know what I mean? So for me, it was like the NBA. That's just how I felt. Like a New Yorker playing for the Knicks. You know what I mean? So that's just all in my head because that's how much I love the sport and love the game and the politics of it. I'm thankful for the experience.
Yeah, I think semi-pro basketball is hard. I got a friend now who has a team in the TBL, which is another league that is kind of a semi-pro league. It's just hard to garner interest, to find the funds, and you got to find guys that love it. Like, I'm appreciative of the experience that I had with them. But for me, the way I looked at it, for me, it was just an opportunity to stay in shape and to play and to travel a little bit.
Right. Game ready.
Yeah.
Game ready.
Yeah, just to stay close to it. But I know semi-pro basketball is you got a bunch of different guys with different agendas.
Yeah.
For me, it was staying in shape and playing against some good comp. Some guys, they're trying to get film so they can get overseas.
Yeah.
I had just had my daughter, so for me, it was a chance to play and stay close to home and it not be everything, but, a chance to compete.
Yeah, that's what's up. I was like, you know what? I've never really wore this shirt, but I was like, you know what?
What teams did you play for?
So the first one was the Louisville Retros. That was like a summer league. When I got there, it was basically like a combine. So it was actually fun. I mean, they put me in a nice hotel for the summer and a little stipend, It was pretty okay. And then from there, I went to the Fayetteville flight. And it was like you said, like the promise of money, you know what I mean? And it was like, I'm here doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. We're in the community. We at events, you know what I'm saying? And we putting out, but wasn't nothing coming in. And I had a talk with a few people about that. Like my mentor, Chucky, he was like, yo, you started it, finish it. I was thinking about just walking away from the team because things weren't being fulfilled on their end. So, yeah, man, that kind of tanks the experience. I don't feel like it's the actual, like the association. It'd be certain teams within the association.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? A few bad apples can make it bad for the rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just think if they didn't promise us so much, the dudes would have been okay with it.
Exactly.
So I think, I don't remember what the dollar amount was, but they would promise everybody a certain $100 a game.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't make the first payment. So I don't remember the people's names. I'm not speaking bad on them. That was my experience.
And then, so at the Fayetteville flight, I came home to the Carolina Jaguars. Yeah, at that point, that was my 3rd. So, it's totally different, in my opinion, if not like in the D League or under the NBA umbrella directly, playing these outside leagues outside of Europe, playing in America. Like, it's like gambling, man.
Yeah, but even overseas is the same. Depending on where you're at, depending on what team you're in. I played on a couple teams where everything was very organized, but I also played with some teams that wasn't organized. Money wasn't on time. You didn't know when practice was. So I think that's just wherever you are. Like you said, it doesn't matter. I mean, every league has teams that are disorganized, and every league has teams that are run very professionally. So just you got to get lucky and hope you make one of the teams that's very organized.
That's a gamble I'm willing to take, though. I rolled those dice. You know what I mean? My road to get there, where I was coming from, like you said, playing for free. So to work my way from that to college level and then to an international level, I was loving it, man. I was in a good situation, and I wish I would have understood the business side of it at that time, because I either would have renegotiated contracts where I was at,
Yeah.
or just would have stayed in Europe altogether, especially if the money situation was what it was.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it looked out. I was good.
Yeah. You got to be good, and you got to be lucky to find situations that, you can sustain.
Some of those states, those European states, yeah, some of them, man, they, like I said, they got their organization together. And if the organization together and the team is together and it all falls. Speaking of Clemson, I'm going to bounce around a little bit. I got a few more questions for you, bro. Okay, we are a touch bases a little bit on the academic situation, man. The kids need to understand and hear that more, though, like the academic side of things, you know what I mean? Like, because once you have it here, can't nobody take it away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Callie, do you like to read?
No.
No? You don't like to read? Well, reading is where we get information from. So what I like to do is I like to read books that they tell me not to read, along with the books also that they tell us to read. And that's how I put pieces to the puzzles together. And I start figuring things out.
Because eventually, you might be signing a contract for a soccer team one day.
Yeah.
And there's going to be language in there. There's going to be words in there that you have to understand what you're going to be playing, doing a lot of work for free.
Yeah.
I'm doing the elite team.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up. Yo, this is a good question right here. Discipline and mindset, bro.
Mm-hmm.
How much of success comes from talent versus consistency?
I think it's a mixture of both. I think the mother of it all, and I've had this conversation now with my friends for the past year, genetics wins.
Ooh.
Genetics wins. So, I think the reason why I've been a decent athlete is because of my father and my mom and their genetics.
That's what's up.
The reason why my children got a chance is because of my and their mother's genetics.
That's right.
My wife was an athlete,
Okay.
in high school. And so I believe that that's the mother of it all.
Yeah.
And then once you do, after that, is you can cultivate,
That's right.
that talent
That's right.
with discipline.
Yeah.
Now, there are some people that have been blessed so much genetically that they don't have to work as hard.
Yeah.
But I think eventually it catches up to you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you look at all these guys getting drafted now, their moms and dads played in the league. They're not in the league because their dad paved the way. Some of them.
Yeah.
Not in the league because their dad paved the way. Some of them are in the league because their mom and their dad's genetics is crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
And they can do things that, we just can't. And then they've cultivated that stuff over time. But
Yeah.
if you look at the NBA draft now, all these kids getting drafted, moms and dads as athletes.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. Yo, I love how you broke that down, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, so and as a coach, when this 5'8" dad comes to me and is like, I want my kid to be Division I, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's gonna be tough.
Right.
It's gonna be tough. Genetics wins.
Yeah, I love that mindset of yours, man. Yeah, I agree with that. I tell players all the time, like, you've got to be like super phenom-ish, like, if you're small.
Mm-hmm.
You see guys in the league, man, these guys 6'11", 7 foot with guard-like skills.
Yeah. Like even now, like I'm small. I think back when I was coming through, 6'2" was the mark. 6'2" gets you in the NBA. 6'2" with you a little bit of athleticism. Ain't many 6'2" dudes in the NBA right now.
Right.
I mean, you got Steph Curry.
Yeah.
You got Kyle Lowry. But the 6'2" guard is a dying breed.
Yeah.
It's a dying breed. It's just not many. Russell Westbrook, 6'4".
Yeah.
Crazy athletic.
Yeah.
I mean, can you name another 6'2" dude in the NBA? There's not many.
Nah, man. I've been watching the NBA since a little boy, since the mid-'80s. I've seen a lot of players come and go. And the league has changed a lot. Politics involved in some of everything, you know what I mean? But I love watching it. Same thing with the WNBA. Started in 95, 96, something like that. But I've been following it ever since it started because I'm a basketball junkie. Like I said, I love it. So the turnaround it emerges from is my story, which is a warning. It's a basketball story, but it's my life story. Unfortunately for me, I was doing things on the other side of things at an early age, starting like middle schoolish. And that's at the time I started to get myself into juvenile incarceration facilities. And that continued throughout high school until I actually landed myself where they send the adults on the state. You know what I mean? But basketball was ever present. Playing in the pickup leagues, playing in the parks, playing in the streets, and then eventually playing high school, then playing at a junior college after coming home. you know, and work my way to Lithuania and playing. So the NBA players, the NFL players, they got a platform, you know what I mean? And so we created the Turnaround Podcast, man, to give people like myself a platform and a voice. Because like TJ always say, just because you're not an NBA player doesn't mean you don't have a voice.
Yeah.
So that's why I say having guys like you come through, dropping some jewels, it means a lot. You see what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
Because, yeah, man, no, I appreciate you coming, bro. Like I said, it means a lot, man. And your mindset and your thoughts, man, people need to hear that.
Yeah.
But all those countries you played for, right? What did they teach you about yourself that you didn't know?
So I played in 3 very different situations. 4 teams, 3 years. The first team I played for, we had a player coach in England. They had just come off winning like everything they could possibly win. So we were there the next year. And I think he felt that pressure and he took it out on us. I wish I'd been more prepared to be a pro.
Okay.
I think that's what all those situations taught me. I was still kind of in the school mindset that they're stuck with me, and like I wish I would have been more prepared to be a pro, which is the information that I pass along to my guys. Like no matter you playing or not, you got to continue to get better.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing well, you got to continue to get better. You're playing bad, you got to continue to do the things. So I think that's what it taught me. No matter what's going on, good or bad, you got to continue to get better. Now, that first team I was with in England, Newcastle, we won the playoffs. And then I was able to get a contract at Gießen the next year.
Okay.
I didn't understand the business of it, like how starters are paid certain things, you know, the reserves are paid a certain amount of money. I wish I would have understood. I was going into it thinking, I'll take this, I got an equal shot. I can work my way up. But, you know, when you accept a certain amount of money, you get pigeonholed into whatever that may be. And that's not something that I understood as a second-year pro. And then I was able to get another contract with Frankfurt. I was there for like 3 months. But at the time, I didn't realize I was really there until the Olympic guys came back. And so I was there. I played the preseason. I played the first few games. But unless I did something crazy, I was going to be replaced when the guys that were playing in the Olympics came back. So when they came back, I got waived. The GM was real cool, though, because he got me on a team in his hometown in Czech Republic.
Okay.
When I got there, we were 0-7, and we ended up making the playoffs.
Okay.
I'm able to pass on my experience to the guys that I know that are trying to get to that level now. You know, what to look for, what pitfalls to look for.
Right.
You know, there were times in that second season where I wasn't playing, and I thought being mad at the coach and not going like what's going on. No, I stopped getting better.
Right.
That was on me.
Okay.
So I would say that experience taught me that. But by the time I learned those lessons, I was done playing. So I have no choice now but to just pass those lessons on to the guys that are playing for me now, and they get to college and they deal with it. I'm like, bro, no matter what, you can be mad at the coach, but you still got to get better.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
you're playing well, you got to understand there's going to come a point in time where you're not going to play well. You still got to get better.
That's right.
So I think for me, it's just a way, like I went through that so that when my guys go through that, I can explain to them and help navigate them through those tough times and through the good times.
And that's exactly what the turnaround stands for, reaching back and sharing that knowledge with the younger youth. You know what I mean? And for me, I set out to warn the kids about making wrong decisions that can lead you down this other path and this other road. And you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately for me, that's what it took at that time of my life, because I was doing all the right things to lead me there. So,
Well, I always think that there's a couple things that happen in a man's life, and if he can keep the main thing, then he's going to be all right. And that's women and drugs. Yeah. And when they get their first alcohol, when they first get their little, and I don't know who's listening to this podcast, but when they get their first little taste of those things, can they keep the main thing, or does that divert them? You know, money divert them the wrong way.
Exactly. So the turnaround, man, the following has been growing. It's been growing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been growing, man. It's out on pretty much every podcasting platform. I don't even know a lot of them, but Spotify is one. I've checked it out on Spotify and then YouTube, you know what I mean? But it's out on other platforms too. So audio versions or interview styles, like this episode will be an actual interview style.
Okay.
So we'll probably put it out maybe a month from now or something. But we just love to have the guests come through and help us grow it.
Yeah, no doubt. I want people to hear your message and hear your story, and I'm glad that you allowed me to share some of mine.
Yeah, man, it's out of admiration, like, because we took two different roads, and I respect the road that you took, keeping your nose clean, staying out of trouble, what I'm saying. Because the other side of things, man, like I say, we see what's going on out here in the world today, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of the youth, man, they being misguided. And I didn't have positive role models, you know what I'm saying, male figures to show me how to dot my I's and cross my T's, knowing it better, you know what I mean? But it got to a certain age where I knew I was doing wrong because you feel it on the inside. And I did it anyway, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But as I got older and learned how to channel all of that stuff after the experiences, then boom, don't go this way, go this way.
And so there's these things that you're telling me, like I never would have known, because I've known you since you've had your stuff together, as far as I know. And
yeah,
I've always admired how you carried yourself. And like I said, the facility that we're in now is beautiful. And I can see your podcast really blowing up, man. Like, that's just really dope.
Yeah, it was a process. And when we met at that time, like I say, I was just coming home. And that was my turnaround, because I didn't want to keep taking my moms through those type of hardships. Because when you're on the road, the people who love you most are suffering.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm saying on the road, but you know what I mean?
I understand.
And that's what a lot of the kids, the youth, they don't understand, that when you go pull that time, those who love you most are the ones who are going to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is going to fizzle and fade off. And it's you and that environment, which is a predatory environment, 24/7, 365, it never shuts off. You got to be a total different beast to survive in that atmosphere.
Yeah.
I became that beast in the form of, my nickname on state was Baby VC,
Mm-hmm.
Baby Vince Carter. I was out there on the yard, and that's how I earned my canteen. I go out there on the basketball court and I flex.
You would always tell me you could always be better.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. He always tell you that?
After the junior elite, like, had to practice for a coach, I said, "Did I do good?" He said, "You don't have to ask me. Think of yourself." He said, "You can always be better."
I think for me, my message to you is, you want me to be proud of you, but you got to be proud of yourself. You got to feel good. You can't base your worth on how I feel about you. You got to go out there, and if you play well, you know you play well. If you play bad, you know you play bad, and you could be better. But you can always, there's always mistakes made. You could always be better.
Yep. You, Callie, are very fortunate to have your dad. You're very fortunate to have him. Treasure that. Always honor. Yeah. I still have both my parents, and I love to spend time with my daddy. I'm a little older than your dad, and I still have my daddy. And it means a lot to me when I go spend time with my daddy. So I always cherish that time with your pops. You understand?
Yes.
That's what's up. Callie, what's the biggest thing about your dad that excites you?
He's good.
Yeah? That's what's up. He's good?
Mm-hmm.
That's
and he
what's
likes
up.
to practice with me. Like, when I want to work out, he'll work out with me.
Okay. Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Yeah. That's real. That's real as it gets. Yeah, man. Yeah. Callie, I got a few more questions for your dad. You were saying Marbury and Kenny Anderson, right? Some of your favorite point guards. That's crazy because I was looking at those same point guards. Marbury and Iverson for me. Kenny Anderson was a little bit before those guys.
Yeah, he was.
He was an assassin, though, Kenny Anderson. So I watched a lot of Kenny Anderson, too. And he was left-handed, if I ain't mistaken.
Lefty, yeah.
Yeah. New York point guard. Yeah, man. Who else you keep your eyes on? Do you watch the WNBA?
I don't watch a whole lot of the WNBA. I watch a lot of college basketball now, a lot of NBA.
Yeah.
I like what Jalen Brunson has done.
Yeah.
The small guard thing, I wasn't saying I was a believer that he couldn't do it, but I just knew that it's hard. Like, what he did was amazing this year. Obviously, Steph Curry,
Yeah.
the way he trains and the way he shoots
Right.
the ball. But I would say Steph Curry is probably the biggest one that I've followed the past decade or so. I just think the brand of basketball that the Warriors were playing, and to see him get 4 titles, as a little guard from Davidson.
Yeah. Right.
And watching his path has been amazing.
Yeah, I remember watching them dudes, man, when their dad played for the Charlotte Hornets, and I'm telling my age. But when their dad was playing for the Charlotte Hornets, man, I remember them being her age out there.
Mm-hmm.
shooting on the, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so to see, you know, both Steph and Seth out there is like,
yeah. And I just think that genetics.
yeah.
Mom played volleyball, dad played basketball, and then you mix that with the discipline and the dedication.
Yeah.
Like, it's genetics wins, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Genetics wins. Now, guys our age or maybe a little bit older, you know, mom might not have played or dad might not have played, but they were still strong and fast. They just didn't have the opportunity to play.
Yeah. My dad was a professional boxer.
So, yeah, genetics wins.
So, you know, he did that for the Army. 3 years undefeated middle heavyweight boxing champion.
And that's why you were able to do what you were doing.
Yeah.
Genetics wins.
Yeah, man. And I love to fight, especially when I was younger. My mom was actually the first one who taught me to stand up for myself. But after that, it clicked. I was around 10, maybe 8, maybe. She allowed me to go out to the parks on my own. And a little boy had punched me in my face. That ain't never happened to me before, so I didn't know how to react to that. I went home crying. Yeah. And my mama was washing dishes. I never forget it. She stopped washing those dishes and she said, come on. And we walked back to the park. And she said, which one was it? And I said, over here. And she gave me a choice. She said, now either you go take care of him or I'm going to take care of you. Take your pick.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my mama like, what kind of choice is that?
Yeah.
But something clicked. I went and took care of my business.
Yeah. And then the little boy never messed with you again, did he?
I had no more problems, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it turned me on.
Yeah.
Once it started, it never stopped.
Yeah.
And I dealt with a lot of bullying coming up.
Yeah.
And I was glad she did that because, like I said, once it started, it never stopped. I'm thankful for that experience, man. So, toughest player you ever faced?
All right, so I've been very blessed to play with and against some Hall of Famers. I was on LeBron's team at ABCD camp. You know, Lenny Cook, I was on his team for that.
Oh, yeah.
I got to play against Carmelo, with Carmelo, against Chris Paul, Raymond Felton, Chris Bosh. Yeah. But I would say that my toughest matchup ever is Steve Blake.
Steve Blake.
I was a freshman. He was a senior coming off of an NCAA title.
Yeah.
And you know how you can kind of guess what people are going to do?
Yeah.
I always guess wrong.
Yeah.
And to this day, when people ask me, Steve Blake was the hardest check.
Yeah.
I was guarding him. When I thought he was going to pass, he would shoot. When I thought he was going to shoot, he would pass.
Yeah.
He was a dog.
Yeah. I remember Steve Blake
was a dog.
Maryland, right?
Maryland.
Yeah. I remember Steve. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He seemed like he could pull up on a dime.
Pull up on a dime. He was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's 6'5", right?
Like 6'3". And he's long, though.
Yeah. And I know how you can pull up, though.
Yeah. But like I said, I was a freshman. He was a senior. Super experienced.
Okay.
Couldn't speed him up.
Well, that make a difference, too, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Talking a few years age difference.
Now, I've guarded Raymond Felton, and he was hard to guard, but I was out of sorts. Steve Blake had me out of sorts.
Yeah. What up, Raymond Felton? What up, man? It's been a while since I've seen bruh. Felton is quicker than what he looks.
No, he's really good. And he's probably better than Steve Blake, but I'm just saying, at that time, freshman, like, it was just a nightmare that day.
Yeah, I've only played pickup with Felton, so that's not real. It's not the same as that type of competition, but, you know, I could tell then that just playing the pickup against him, he was quicker than what he looked.
No, he was explosive.
Cool dude, too. One coach who changed your life.
Okay, outside of my dad, it's my favorite coach, probably Coach Shyatt. He's the one who recruited me to Clemson. Okay. I only had him for a year.
Okay.
But college is the only time you get to choose who you get to play for.
Okay.
And so, you know,
that's right.
He had an utmost belief in me. You know, I came in as a freshman. I don't remember what expectations I had, but, you know, he gave me an opportunity. And by the end of the season, I was playing 14, 15 minutes a game, and I knew he believed in me. Now, if I was in today's climate, because he got fired after my freshman year, resigned, I'm not exactly sure. In today's climate, there's no way in the world I would have finished at Clemson.
Yeah.
You know, after he left, I would have went to the highest bidder, or, you know, because I shot almost 50% from three my freshman year.
Okay.
I averaged like 5 points a game. The money that's going around crazy, I would have played that freshman year, and I would have went somewhere else and got paid. But
yeah,
he's the one who really felt, outside of my dad, really believed in me and gave me opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's huge, man, to have your father there like that, man. My dad looked at me one time, because he lives in Edenton, North Carolina, where I was born.
Mm-hmm.
And so were you born in Boone, North Carolina?
I was born in Boone, but I was only there for a couple months. Spent all my time growing up in Raleigh.
So Boone is what, going out west?
Boone is the mountains.
Okay. Yes,
it's like 3 hours from here.
Okay. So I was born in Edenton, North Carolina in 76. And then my mom moved here with me when she graduated from Elizabeth City State in '78. So Edenton, you familiar with Edenton?
I'm not exactly sure where that's at.
Right before you get to Elizabeth City.
Okay, so down east.
Northeast. I love to call it the country coast. We out in the country, but we on the coast. Shout out to Edenton, man. I love y'all up there. Coming from that region right there, man, the E-Town, small town, I always love to make sure I let them know Edenton is in the building. As far as your legacy, bro, what message would you leave for the next generation that's chasing their dreams?
You just got to put in the work. I know everybody, that's like a buzzword, put in the work. First of all, you got to love something.
Yeah.
And you got to love it so much that you love the stuff that's boring. You got to love it so much that you love the stuff that's not fun.
That's right.
And so I just think for me, if you want something, you got to find a way to work for it. Some people are going to be ahead of you as far as like the genetics piece, but you've got to outwork them. And then even if you've been blessed with the talent, you still got to outwork.
That's right.
And be in love with the process. Because if LeBron James loved money, he would have quit playing a long time ago.
Yeah.
If Steph Curry loved money, they would have stopped playing along. They would have fizzled out. They would have stopped working.
That's right.
Them dudes love the work. Them dudes love the process. I think they love the process more than they love what comes with it. Because if you just fall in love with what comes with it, then the process dwindles.
Yeah. Man, that's huge, man.
I think that would be my piece of advice. You got to love the process, even the boring, not so fun parts.
Yeah. That's huge what you just said, man. What's the biggest lesson basketball has taught you about life?
It's not fair.
Wow.
It's not fair.
Wow.
It could be the referees. Or someone's really fast and you're not. It's not fair, but you got to find a way.
Yeah.
So I would say that would be the biggest lesson. That it's just not fair and you got to deal with it. It's more about how you respond to the not being fair than it just being not fair.
That's what's up. Anybody you want to send some shots out to?
Nah, just my high school team. I've been really blessed to be at a place that the administration at my school, the athletic director, principals, I think for me, they just allow me to be me. They allow me to help kids the way that I know how to help kids. You know, I've had a couple of really good players come through, a couple that come to mind. Justin McCoy, AJ Morris, Dalen Berry, Savon Puckett just finished. But those guys, what they've been through at PC, they've been able to come back and give my guys those lessons.
That's what's
up. So those guys that have graduated 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago still have a connection with the guys that are there now.
That's what's
and
up.
They see them and they see how they work.
Yes.
So I definitely got to give a big shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
My parents. But I think it's just amazing that to see what we've been able to build in the basketball realm over the past 8, 10, 12 years is they're second to none. And there's a lot of programs in this area that get a lot more clout. They get talked about a lot more, but that doesn't faze me.
I know.
Everybody knows that when you play against Panther Creek,
that's right.
You got a problem. And for the longest time, whenever we lost, teams were celebrating because they knew, they achieved something.
Right.
But no, I'm just blessed to be where I'm at. I'm blessed to be able to help. I'm blessed to have one of the best camps in the area.
That's what's up.
And we have another session next week, and then we'll have an all-girls session the 20th through the 24th. I'm just grateful to be in the position that I am, to be able to help folks and be a light.
Justin was here today at BC.
McCoy?
Yeah.
Shout out Justin McCoy. That's what's up. I met that young fella.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met Justin in Latvia.
Latvia. He was in Latvia 2 years ago. He just finished his second season in Spain in the ACB.
Okay.
And now he just signed in France.
Okay. I've been following.
And Dalen, who graduated 5 years ago, he just finished his last year at Winthrop. He's looking to go overseas.
Okay.
Juan Munoz is coaching in Hawaii. AJ is coaching at Clemson. I got a young man named Chris Uweyo, who's at University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley.
That's what's up.
A kid that just left me, Zavon Puckett. He's from Elizabeth City, but he's going to Brunswick.
What about Cam?
Cam is young. He's still going to play. I got a rising junior. So I've been blessed to have a Division I player in every roster that I've had, by hook or by crook. Just looking to put guys that obviously win games, but, looking to help guys chase their dreams.
You creating a culture up there at Panther Creek, and I've seen it and I've noticed, because I've been blessed too to coach. I've been mostly in the private schools. As a high school official, I get to travel and see a lot of talent. And I was always excited when I had Panther Creek on my schedule, whether it be the JV or varsity. Because I do both. Whichever they need me to do, I do both. I enjoy doing both. because I get to learn basketball from another perspective, even at this stage in life. So I still love learning about the sport. And just coming out there officiating high school basketball games, I see the culture that you've been creating out there, man. And that's why I say that's huge. And we need more people like you in the community that's so giving like that to the community like that, because it's pivotal and it's important. And then you got guys like me, we stand beside you.
Yeah.
Like I said, the whole origin of the turnaround is just to let people know that you can come from my type of situation and still conquer some goals. Because that's all I did. You know, I followed my heart, which is basketball. And I just got off to a late start with it because I was taking other routes and other avenues. And again, bro, like I said, just having someone like you to come through, and Callie also is huge. And we definitely want you to come back. I know we're time sensitive. So, Callie, is there anybody you can think about you want to say hello to? Mommy.
And Cassidy.
That's what's up.
And Savannah Sophia.
Her cousin.
Name them. Call them out.
And Joy. And you can Gwen not down.
That's what's up. Any teammates you can think about? Not yet.
Like Carolyn.
Okay.
Zephyrs.
That's what's up.
She just recently made the NCFC Junior Elite team, so she's really excited about getting started with that in August.
But I know
Huge.
to work to get higher.
Yeah. And we're going to keep getting what?
Better.
Better. That B word, better. Yeah, I like that. I'm finna take that. I'm finna soak that in, keep getting better. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up. So is soccer your favorite sport? Okay.
And my second is basketball.
It's basketball. Okay.
Just because I've been coming in the morning with that this week.
Okay. Well, you still young. You got time to weigh some options to see which one you, Okay. All right. That's what's up. You got any favorite players, soccer players, or?
Messi and Neymar.
Okay. You got any colleges you already thinking about?
No.
Not yet? Okay. Take your time. Wonderful to have you. All right, yo. So we're at the Turnaround Podcast. We got the magnificent Shawan Robinson came through and blessed us with some heavy jewels. Heavy jewels. I can't wait to sit back and watch this episode myself. You know what I mean? Like I said, shout out to Talib Jasir, the producer of the Turnaround Podcast. Mac G, the engineer. You just met Mac. You know what I mean? Love Mac. And before Tunes Record Studio, he was actually, his wife allowed him to use their home as the studio. So I've been rocking with Mac ever since then. So when I seen him bring his dream into reality, it was on the right. I stuck with the home team, and he from the Bull City. So shout out Tunes Recording Studio. Lastly, is there anything else you could think about? You want to say anything too, real quick?
Nah, I just want to thank you for having me. This is an amazing facility. This is a great opportunity to just have a platform. Yeah, I just want to thank you.
Appreciate you,
Thank you, Callie, for being so patient and being a good podcast member. Yeah,
we got to get you back, Callie. Next time we'll go in the auxiliary room, you know what I mean? Like we're in the living room.
Okay.
Super appreciate you, bro. Super appreciate Callie. Yeah, man, you know, we out like last year.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Appreciate you guys.